My dear student, we continue with the question on another area, as we said before in our lesson. Now, our question is describe the importance of human population. As we study, our lesson now today is human population. So what is the importance to study this human population? You can try, my student. Yes, Hadija. To live on the earth. This is okay. Well tried. The importance of people to live on the earth. Makame. To participate in agriculture. That is very good tried. Because the people who living in the earth can participate in agriculture. And in agriculture we get food. If the people who produce much crops, and the people can get food through that group of people. So, to discuss together with you, my students. Now, me and you, let us discuss together on this area of our lesson. Let's describe the importance of human population. As mentioned below. As we say, so the general in the world, how the population can have importance. Number one, can introduce new technology and uses. All technology on the earth's surface were introduced by people and they used them. It means population is a source. Another is population is a source of market of any trade. Any trade in the world can participate by group of people. Another, population is facilitate exploitation of resources. This also is very important. Population or group of people who exploit resources. Another, population allow the relationship to different society in the world. Africa and Europe were related because of the people. Another, population allow the division of labor and specialization. We have a driver, teacher, we have farmers, all participate as a group of people, my students. Population can increase of revenue through taxes. The government can get money through the workers. The government can get money through the traders. So this you can say is important. So my dear students, let's explain one by one in details in order to understand, and this can help you in your examination, my students. Population can introduce a new technology and use is a group of people, my students, who think to innovate new technology. Every day the new technology can be discovered, but the thinker is a people and they use in a particular time. So within a time, we can have a new technology. For example, the technology of using mobile. Every person can have mobile phone. This is a technology was discovered by people. In the previous, you cannot use this mobile phone. But now we use mobile phones because of the people who have discovered the way how to use mobile phones. Also cooking by using gas at home, your home, was also discovered by people. In the previous one, we use firewood. You cannot use gases. Now everywhere the person can use gas. This is the technology which innovated by human. Another importance of population is that the source of market in any trade activities. As you see in the picture, the process of buying and selling goods involved in the town or involved to the people who sell and buy that people, so can contribute to the development of his own country, because the process of buying and selling all is only, or we can say involve a group of people, my student, as you see in the picture. The importing goods and exporting is the influence of people also. We have a goods which importing in the country and exporting outside the country, all is planned by people. Also, the quality of good in the market also judged by the group of people. We have a TBS or ZBS in Zanzibar. So this can be judged the quality of the goods. On the other hand, my dear student, population facilitates exploitations of resources. We have a lot of resources. We have natural resources, a lot of natural resources in our country, such as minings and water, air, whatever. To exploit that mineral resource, the activity carried out by the group of people who are specialists of that activities. We mean that the group of people can be specialists in a different area. Mineral, such as gold, is more valuable in the world market. Who give valuable that in the world market? Is a person or is a group of peoples. And exploit is also a group of people. We continue with the importance, my dear students. Population allows a relationship to the different societies in the world. The friendship is introduced by the group of people, or the establishment by the group of people. The establishment of economic organization that is very famous, and the society organization such as East Africa Community, ECOWAS, UN, UNESCO are organization which are established by people for various purposes. I think you see how the people were important, because they introduce this organization can have very important organization in defense and education, in relationship and others. And also relationship between Tanzania and Kenya, example, is established by the group of these two countries, or the people of these two countries. The relation within the country can help it to solve some problem facing that country. Example, one country can have a suffering with the calamities. The one country can help them to give food and other services. On the other side, population allow the division of labor and the specialization, my students. I am teachers, also have doctors, and we have drivers, and we have others. Each person can specialize in their specific activity. Any country benefits from the group of people having specialization, as you said, as a teachers, driver, and others in the various areas. For example, as we say, a country has teachers, doctors, soldiers, and other workers working according to his or her specialization. It's very important. If all person can work in the same way, I think the country cannot have the development, but we distribute, each person can work in their own careers. The last importance of human population is increase of revenue. As we say, as human being involve various activities in the place he or she live. So through activities, workers, businessmen, farmers can facing with taxation processes according to the regulation of the country. We have ZRB here in Tanzania. We have TRA also collect some tax in order to help in other activities, sometimes to buy the medicine and to buy other things which is not made in Tanzania. Because in the process of selling and buying. My dear student, human population is very, very, very important. It's not only to run away, but it's very important to exist in our the earth surface. My dear student, are we together? If we are together, say hi, my students. Now look these two pictures that hanging on your television. One picture of the people in the town, and another picture live in the village that you can compare that to your pictures, my students. I think you can get something from that picture. Have you observed which one have high density of population? We can say have high number of population between towns and villages, my students. Who can try? Yes, Nassau. Okay, there is high density in town. That is very, very good, my students. There is a lot of people in town. Is a picture shown on that TV. Another student, Saida. The high density in town than in the villages. Thanks. Very good. The town area is many people. As you say, they can participate in their own duties, and the rural area is few people. Also, they can participate in different activity and rural. Now, let me ask you another question, my dear students. What is population distribution? Through the picture, you see what is population distribution. Why there is town is many people and the rural is or villages is few people. Yes, Mariam. Is a way people live in a group between town and the village. That is very good for trying, because it's a way how the people living in town and the villages can reveal the distribution, because it's a rural is or villages is fewer people and the town is many people. The way they live, I think that is a way how they distribute. The picture shown the different density of people who live in town and in the village. That is very good, my dear students. Well, you tried for this question. So, we are going together, you and me, to define the population distribution. Let us begin, my dear students. By definition, population distribution refer to the way the people are spread over space or area of the earth's surface. As you see, there is some area they have people, and some area they have no people, and some area they have many peoples, and some area have few peoples. That is a way how they distribute that we can say is the population distribution. My dear student, we are living in Zanzibar. From your experience, as you visit in different places, in your life you visit in different places, in Zanzibar or Tanzania mainland. I think you already visited, my dear student. Do you examine that? Is all places in the country have equal number of peoples? From your experience, my dear students, think for a few minutes or few seconds, we can say. Who can try? Okay, yes, Rama. Yes, is all town people are many. Okay, it's well tried. Normal, as we see the picture, the people in town are many. Yeah. People are not the same in all places in the country. That is good. Well tried. Very good. Because the people is not equal distributed as from your experience. So, look at these three pictures hanging in the television, my dear students. Then describe the factor which influence population distribution. Why the people were not equal? As all town, all the countries that people are many or fewer. There is, I think, there is some factors which influence. Can you try, my dear students? Seth, this question, answer this question. People live to follow the market. Okay, well you tried, my students. The people sometimes can follow the market on the area, as you experience in our country. Moses, people follow live in the village to follow in farming activities. Very good, Moses. Now let's examine the factor influence people to be distributed in the area. There is several factors, my dear students. It's not a single factors which can be influenced, but we can go in together to discuss that factor by using these three pictures as you see. Let's be careful together. Now, let's explain the factor which influence population distribution. Are we together? Okay, let us continue. Number one, it is vary from place to place such that some places are having many people and other places are having few people. It means it is unevenly distributed. This situation are influenced with several factors, and those factors are categorized into two broad groups, my dear students. A factor which influences the population to distribute can be categorized into two groups. Number one is physical factor, which influenced by physical phenomena. This is not by human. Only the as you see can influence people to distribute, including all such example, relief, climate of the area, vegetation of the area. Maybe you say the types of forest, or we have the forest, also can be a factor for distribute. Soil, edaphic factors. Here we can look later about how the soil can be influenced. A mineral, my student, also can influence the people to distribute. Natural hazards. The different natural hazards can influence the people also to distribute. That is all there is a physical factors. And another categories is human factors. This for one way or another can be caused by the human. This includes economic structure of the country. You can have, as we say, there is a different economic level of the country. Political factors. There people can participate themselves in political. Transport and communication also is a human factors. And the social culture factors. Also this can be caused or can be driven by people. So through the factors above, let's explain you one by one, my student, in order to understand in detail about these factors which can influence the people to distribute in the area, and this make them the people is not equally distributed in the area. My dear students, let's begin with a climate. As we say, is a physical factor. This area that receive moderate rainfall, about 1,000 millimeter, example, per year, are densely populated area. As we say, the people is not distributed in a simple, can have the factors or reason behind. For example, the lower slope of mountain Kilimanjaro, the lower slope of mountain Kilimanjaro, that is, we can say, is a genital slope area. This is because such area are suitable for agriculture, and also is a coastal area, also is a high populated area, because they receive a high rainfall which favor the agricultural activities. So we say the slope that is going to have a good land for agriculture in Mountain Kilimanjaro, and also the coastal area receive as a maximum rainfall or minimum rainfall, or we can say is a moderate rainfalls, can help you to grow the crops. The arid and the semi-arid area, for example, center of Tanzania, such as we say is Dodoma, are sparsely populated because they cannot support arable farming. This is raw climate. We can say there is Dodoma there is the rain is fewer and the soil is not, sometimes not fertile. Area with extreme low temperature discourage settlement. Also, if there is high temperature, or sometimes there is a lower temperature in the area. For example, land of mountain Kilimanjaro is the top of the mountain Kilimanjaro there. The people cannot be live because the temperature is too lower, so can affect by cold. My dear students, another factor is availability of physical feature. We talk physical feature, I mean relief or topography of the land. Mountain or steep slope area do not attract settlement and are therefore sparsely populated. If there is a mountain is very steep, so the people here cannot be attracted because such area discourage agricultural activities and infrastructure. There is no agriculture in the steep slope, there is no infrastructure such as road in the steep slope because the land are ridged. We say roughly land in most place. As we see in the picture, there is mountain is a steep slope and a roughly land, so the people cannot be settled or cannot be live on there, so the people is fewer. Plain and the gentle slope area are general densely populated because they facilitate transport and arable farming. As you see the coastal area, there is a lot of people because the land is very plain and the people who are participating and the other infrastructure can be developed. Also, my dear students, people like to settle in area where soil are fertile. As we say, each person can participate in one activity. So the farmer can live in fertile area with fertile soil, like the slope of Mountain Kilimanjaro and the coastal plain. Mountain Kilimanjaro is volcanic soil and the coastal plain also have fertile soil, and the Lake Victoria Basin densely populated because the soil is support. The soils are support agricultural activities. So the people follow to participate in agricultural activities and also to live on their area because the land is too flat. Area with infertile soil, such as the savanna land in East Africa, such as Congo, in Dodoma. I take Congo because Congo is a very specific area which is suffer with infertile soil because the rain also is non-available. Mpwapwa in Dodoma also have a sparse populated because they are agricultural and productive. So the productive cannot much involve, so the people cannot be live on there. There is a few people. On the other hand, my students, another factor is vegetation. I think vegetation, as we know, the vegetation we include the foresty, bushes, and other types of vegetation. In area where dense vegetation, it means forest, is difficult to clear, like in tropical rainforests such as Rufiji Vales, we know here Jozani, and a mangrove area. Mangrove, we can say, is an area where the ocean is border ocean, so mangrove can be grow. So we have a strong forest along the coastal area. People are discouraged to live, leading to the have a sparsely populated or no population. As my student here, Jozan, there is not a lot of people because there is a heavy forest. Dense vegetation hinder penetration. Always the people we need to penetrate in the forest, but that is a big forest, so this forest cannot be influenced or communication and the development. But on other side, the area in which vegetation has led the development, because the vegetation sometimes can give participate in different activities such as lumbering, electricity cable get in a forest, so that forest we can say can attract people to live there because can participate in different activities as we see in the picture. People are attracted since they harvest forestry resources. There is a lot of forestry resources, as we can learn in the topic of forestry, my student, we can understand much about the resources come from the forest. People normally are settled in the area where water bodies are available for fishing activities. That is another factors which make the people to live in particular area, and the other area there is few people. And earning water for irrigation, for the growth of crops, especially food and cash crops. So also another factor is a water body available in the area can influence the people to live there or to participate in that different activity concerning to the water bodies. Also another factor is a social culture factors. So now here we talk about the human factors. People like to settle in area no social conflict, such as war. The people escape war always, can leave the area where is a calm people, there is a safe area without war. Also people live in the area where good and modern transport are available. So also this is another factor about transport. For example, in the main roads from Zanzibar town to Nungwi, where people are settled along the roads. As you see, we move to Nungwi, you can see a lot of people settle on the besides the road. And migrate on the area which is not accessibility. It means that people cannot leave the area where the road cannot be reached on that area. The communication is very problem, so that people can be escaped on that area and they can live near to the area where some facility can be available. For the other hand, the biological factor, my students, such as pests and diseases. As we say, the people escape a disease. As we said before, there is some characteristic. Always people like to settle in area which are free of disease and pest. But people are not settled or away, and few in the area experience mosquito. You know mosquito, my student, which causes malaria. So malaria is very dangerous for humans. So the people, if there is a malaria and the testis fly, this can affect the animal, which cause a disease such as sleeping sickness, which caused by testis fly in human. For example, Miambo woodland of southern western, we talk about southern western of Tanzania. This area do not attract to settle in this area because the escape of disease which caused the on such testis fly and mosquito. Are we together, my students? Yes. Another factor is historical factor. Some people settle or develop settlement according to the historical background of that people. As we say, some people, they live in Makunduchi because there is historical backgrounds, and they live in Nungu, the historical background. For example, most people in East and Central Africa live in area where slave trade was dominant on that area. So still until now, that town is very famous because that town is come from history. So the people can be attracted to live on that area due to the historical background. For example, Zanzibar town and the Kilwa located in Stone Town because the area experienced slave trade market or slave market. So the town remained till now. They are surviving. So the people are many on that area because of the historical factors which can attract them people to live. My student, continue is a factor for population distribution. Another factor is political factors, as I mentioned before. Sometimes the people settle or immigrate in the area due to the government policy. This we can say is some political factor because the government is leading by the political leaders. It means sometimes government establish new town for the different purpose. They introduce a new town. Some people are attracted to settle there because the new town introduced, so the people can be attracted to live on that area. So there is many people can be migrating on that area. The government force people to settle on the area. Examples I need is that area, that original area people living, they forced to move to another area. The good example, the plan of the government of Zanzibar to establish a new city in Mangapwani, I think this can be attracting many people to live in Mangapwani because there is a new town, so that you can say is a government policy. So people will be attracted to settle in the area city of the Tungu town because it is a modern town, new town, so the people are made there because they're introduced by the government. So this sometimes can be influences a factor for distribution. Also economic factor, most region within intensive farming or industry can support a large number of people on the small area. As you say, there is an area, if there is development of industry, the people are attracted to live on there because of the employment cases. While area with has developed the subsistence economic, such as usual are not attractive population of the area. The area where is no industry, no productive, so the people cannot be live on that place, such as desert area. Also, majority of people follow employment sometime, opportunity in the area, they settle. If the area opportunity are available in the areas, the people will move on there. Example, in town, there is many people because the people will follow employment opportunity. Also, my dear student, is yet we are describing the factor for population distribution. Okay, my dear student, we continue with a factor which influences the population to distribute. Area which serve with transport and communication attract high population, since they can transport their goods to the market. They take goods from the farm to the market. Example, the main road of Morogoro to Dar es Salaam are many people, any times when you move for that road, because the people can take the crops to the rural area and shift it to the town area where the market is available. But area which are poor serve with the transport and communication. The people are very, very few, my dear students. Also, the development of urbanization is another factor, my students. Growth of towns encourage rural urban migration as the people move to urban center to look for the job. As we say, the development of town in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Morogoro, Zanzibar, so the people were many because they follow job. Because if you leave town, you can get a job for one way or another, my student. This leads to the increase in population town such as Dar es Salaam, Nairobi, Mwanza, Zanzibar, Tanga have had any increase in population due to the rural urban migration. That is also is a factor, my students. I think you can experience yourself on that town area. Are many people. All students now stand up, please. Clap your hands. Today, you learn the topic of human population. That is good. All of you will learn the topic of human population. I hope that you know now the meanings. What is population and the human population? Characteristic and a factor for population to distribute in the country. As we say, is not equal. So now you have in your mind what's the reason behind, what's the factor influence that. Also, I give some questions, my dear students, concerning to our topic or our lesson today as your homework. This question you can answer together in next lessons. As your Form 4 student, describe the six physical factors caused population distribution in Tanzania. I mean in Tanzania. It's not other country. Only example we need from where? Tanzania. And question number 2 explains the 6 population characteristic in developing country. In our studies on our lesson, we discussed the general characteristic, but now I need only developing a country. My dear students, I hope that, my hope, we have been together. Have been together from the beginning to the end of our lesson. From the beginning to end of our lesson. And you enjoy our lesson. You get some things. You enjoy a lot. You get a lot of important to our lesson today. So my students, bye-bye. We can meet in next lessons. Thank you.